Hello, everybody. I'm John,
I'm Justin.
and we're the Gore
Goblins.
We talk about movies.
Horror movies.
Some we like,
Some we don't.
and some we've never seen before.
Yeah. You know
but,
the drill.
Hold on a second.
That was a loud ding.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't appreciate how y'all didn't go to my post on Facebook and give me movie ideas. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, tell me what y'all are watching on October. Because I've been watching shit. It's been fun.
Yeah, what have you been watching, Justin?
I watched both Terrifiers again.
Oh, no.
What great fun those are.
Oh, no.
I enjoyed the second one way more watching it again this time for some reason. I don't know why.
That's because you hate people. I don't know.
I
don't know.
I watched Sinister 2, like I said on the post, and The Collector.
Oh, yeah, The Collector. I forgot about that one.
Very solid movie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can't not have Halloween without The Simpsons.
Sure, that's what they say.
I mean,
I'm
I
sure
love those Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Well, that's good.
Well, the older ones, where they weren't scared to be gory and fucked up.
Well,
I just like how you can see the gradual censorship of the show as you watch just those episodes alone.
Yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, so today we're talking about, it's our first episode of
Our new franchise.
the Justin pick, so he's the one that's going to be doing most of the talking.
Yeah.
Which is for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Came out in 1974, directed by Tobe Hooper.
Some say he was a criminal in disguise. He just secretly wanted to torture these people.
Yeah.
Because he did.
It's like Sam Raimi did with The Evil Dead. Hot take time. I still don't really like this one. I'm still not crazy about it. I don't know if it's just because it was so hyped up to me over the years. I don't know if it's because I've just seen shit that's better. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't hate it. But
They're
it's
just
like
meh.
it's just like there's some really good stuff in there, but I don't care about any of the characters except for Sally, really. And it doesn't really it's not even like that I don't like slow burns either, because I do. It's just that there's not it just doesn't do anything for me. I was watching the special features, or I watched a documentary after I rewatched it. And they were talking about how all the characters are, nowadays each character would have a trope, but all these characters have personalities. And I'm like, do they?
They did not.
I'm like, do they have I feel like y'all are just talking it up because this was a huge independent thing. I feel like an insane person, honestly. I know how you feel about the movie, but I feel like an insane person because they're over here talking about how and it feels so real, and I'm like, yeah, I get, but it feels more claustrophobic than anything, especially those scenes in the van.
And when they do close-up shots.
And then the close-up shots, I don't think it feels like, a lot of people were like, it feels like a documentary, and I'm like, no, it doesn't really feel. It doesn't really feel real. And then, I know I've talked about it before, but I know people talk about how, it's good that they don't show the violence because it lets your imagination kind of run wild. And yeah, that's cool and everything. I like that in funny games, but not in this for some reason, because it just feels.
I wouldn't say they don't show the violence either.
I mean, the one thing that people always talk about is you swear, when I was a kid and what's her name gets put on the hook, I remember seeing the hook go into her back, but you don't see that, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, but that's because the editing's good. That's not really that's more the editing than it is not showing and not telling. For something like funny games, for me, when the purpose of the violence all being off screen, it serves a point in the thesis of the movie. For this one, it's just the editing, which the editing is one of the things I like about this movie a lot. So it's not to say that I'm criticizing the fact that it doesn't show violence, but I just think people kind of put this movie on a pedestal is what I'm getting at. And people feel this way about one of my favorite horror movies, and that's John Carpenter's Halloween, you'll have people that watch it far removed from when it came out that are like, oh, it's just a dude chasing teenagers and all the teenagers are stupid and, it doesn't really do anything for me. And I'm like, well, yeah, but like the characters I don't give a shit about, but like we've talked about Halloween and the big thing for me with Halloween is atmosphere. And that's one thing that Texas Chainsaw Massacre does have. It has like this almost apocalyptic atmosphere that I think is cool. Like I like the beginning when it's zooming out on the corpses in the cemetery and there's like these news reports of like all these fucking like terrible things happening in
grave
Texas,
robberies and shit.
and I'm like, that's cool, like that's a good tone setter. But then it's like, but then the rest of the movie happens, and until the point where spoilers, where Franklin gets killed, I don't care about anything that's happening. And then once Franklin gets killed, and you have like that fucking like 5-minute chase scene with Leatherface and Sally, I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool, but like it still doesn't really it doesn't really do anything for me.
It took too long to get there.
But then you have that insane fucking ending with the family dinner that I think is great. And then the ending in general is just fantastic. I just don't care about anything that happens before that. I'm going to compare this to an artsy-fartsy movie, and that's 2001: A Space Odyssey. 2001: A Space Odyssey is a Stanley Kubrick movie that a lot of people love. A lot of people suck its dick. A lot of people at the time hated it, but a lot of people now suck its dick and talk about how it's like Stanley Kubrick's best movie, and it did so much for the genre and all this other stuff. And when I saw it recently, I want to say about a year ago, in theaters, I remember thinking, damn, there's like a really good thriller in the middle of this movie, and then the other two parts of the movie are kind of just there. Like I know what he's going for, I get it, but it's like there's one part of the movie that's really fucking good and tense, and the rest of it is just weird. And I'm not averse to weird shit. I like weird shit. I fucking like David Lynch movies, so I like the most surreal shit you can think of. I liked Beyond the Black Rainbow. I like Phantasm, like that. Like I like that, but it doesn't, when it's tonally incongruent, I don't like it. That was one of my problems with X too, because X has these moments where it wants to be a slasher, but then it has these moments where it wants to be an A24 movie that's like a thinking man slasher, and it's super obvious and on the nose, and I don't give a shit about any of that. And then it like it's at odds with itself, and I don't like that. And it's not that this is at odds with itself, but it's just like there's nothing that really hooks me until the end of the movie. I'm sorry I went on a tangent there that didn't make sense, but like, there's nothing that really hooks me until the end.
It makes sense.
But I do like the scene with the hitchhiker. That scene's pretty good. It's pretty weird and eerie, and that part feels real. That part feels like, okay, this is fucking like I've felt awkward ass situations like that before.
Well, minus how casually they just picked him up.
Yeah, minus that.
Like,
that,
how fucking dumb are you?
That part feels real to me. That part felt
you see, but like
intense.
I just compare, because while I was watching it, I was comparing it to the remake, because the remake's like fresher in my brain, because I've watched that a lot more than the original one.
Yeah.
I was like, the remake picks up intensity a lot faster.
Oh, I know. I remember the opening scene.
This one. Yeah. Because instead of just a text crawl like you get in this one, the remake opens with like camera footage of the cop walking through the basement in Leatherface's house.
See, and that's a good way to start it.
And then
too.
you get like the flashes of the same, like in the original it had it was showing flashes of bodies are just like one body over and over again.
It's like the fingers and the face and stuff.
It was Kirk, I guess, based on the pants and belt.
Yeah.
And in the remake it shows like crime scene photos and like pictures of Leatherface's birth and all that and whatever. It was good at setting all that shit up.
And I mean, it's not to say that like, because like I said, I like the beginning when it's the zoom out of those bodies and then it's this apocalyptic feeling fucking setting, and then the color grading makes it feel like very oppressive and interesting. It's just that I just wish it hooked me more. I've had this problem with movies before that are like praised and everything, and it always trips me out because there are other movies I like that do the same thing, but then when I watch the movie that's heralded as this masterpiece that also does the same thing, for some reason it doesn't click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that being said, I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 a lot more, and it's because it's batshit insane, and Dennis Hopper is batshit insane in that movie.
And it seems like they had more fun making that.
Yeah, and that's not really anything that factors into it because I don't really know all about that. You can probably talk about that because you know more about it than I do probably. But like that didn't factor into it at all. It's just more like I don't know. If the whole movie had the same intensity as that last like 15 minutes, I think I'd probably enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't really. It's a little bit of a peak, a very steep valley, and then a very high peak at the end. That's how this movie is for me. But enough of what I think about it. Let's go ahead and let Justin talk about what he thinks about it and give us the plot details and what he likes about it and all.
All the spiel and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
Let her rip.
I thoroughly enjoy watching this movie. I hate the characters, except Sally, of course, because I don't know if it's just because they use like takes where everyone's like tired and on edge, because you can tell just from them sitting there that they just all seem like they do not want to be where they are right now. Like none of them look comfortable at all in any of the scenes.
So
it's Texas, but also that just goes into the whole backstory and trauma of actually filming the movie with all the horrible conditions they had to suffer through, like heat and cold and just being miserable. But that's what makes the ending so good, because all her screams are real.
Yeah, it's genuine. Yeah. Ethics aside, it's genuine.
Yeah. But other than that, I like the movie. Is it scary, and do I see it the way people had described it to me? No. It's really a goofy movie when you look at it through and through.
I was going to say, there's parts that almost feel like a fucking comedy. Like
Franklin's whole character, like, he almost makes me want to not watch the movie again. If I didn't know that he died in such a great way, I wouldn't, because he's so fucking annoying. I cannot stand him.
He is awful. He is an awful character.
Like, you could have been like the wheelchair guy in Friday the 13th. Like, at least he still had hope in life.
Isn't that insane? Hold on. I just want to talk about how insane it is that we're talking about how characters in Friday the fucking 13th, a franchise that exists solely to make money with tits and gore, how are characters, specifically in part 2, written better and I care about more than characters in this fucking movie? Like, that is insane to me. That is not anything that I would even think about. But like, yeah, like that whole thing with the guy with the wheelchair and then his girlfriend that wanted to fuck him. And there were like these little character quirks that they had that I thought that made them like
in their short little bit of time, you felt a little bit of something
like
for
I
them.
know I talked about it in the episode for part 2, but that part where she sprays the perfume on her pussy, I'm just like, okay, well that's a character quirk. Like that's funny. Like that's interesting. That makes her an interesting character. And then the wheelchair guy, not only does he have the most memorable death in the movie, but like he's also just a dude. Like like he feels like a real fucking teenager. I don't like, which is again is weird to say about a movie written by old dudes that think they know what teenagers sound like, but like he feels like a real fucking teenager. Oh, I love part 2 so much. God damn. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't feel much for these characters until the end, where you feel something for Sally.
Yeah, like I feel bad for Sally.
She goes through it.
They put her through the fucking ringer. Jesus.
But there's no like real solid plot, because you just get this brief ass explanation that they're all going to Sally and Franklin's dad's old house, as it was put.
Well, first they go to the cemetery, right?
Yeah, the cemetery.
Yeah.
Because her granddaddy's buried there.
Mm-hmm.
But then they end up going to a house. And they stop at the gas station, which is run by Leatherface's dad, that they don't know that yet. Best barbecue around, apparently.
Was it his dad or his brother? I thought Cook was a brother.
Oh, I don't fucking remember.
I mean,
Oh yeah, because he does call the old man granddad too.
Well, the other thing is that movie, like the lore for the family.
Yeah, the lore.
In Texas Chainsaw is fucking all over the place.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I have a hard time with the family thing.
I mean, and it starts with part 2, which is still written and directed by Tobe Hooper. That's the funny part. is part 2 is insane, and it like changes the lore already, and I cannot wait to talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I love it so much. But anyway,
and then the later movies change it even more.
Yeah, we'll get to all that. Don't worry.
Especially Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, which one? 3D.
3D.
All right, cool. Yeah, can't wait. Anyway, just keep.
All right,
on.
so yeah, they're on their way to this house. They're all driving. I don't believe for a second that these people actually knew each other through life. Like, I swear they all just met. I mean, except for Sally and Franklin, because they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to that place, and then the fucking stupid ass Jerry is like, "Oh look, a hitchhiker." He's way more excited about that than he should be. So they pick him up, and if it was me, just the way he ran up to the van, I would have been like, "Nah, keep going." And then then they let the dude in, and he's obviously looks like he's tweaking out. So I don't know how anyone felt comfortable picking him up. He talks about the slaughterhouse. Oh, yeah, Franklin before that gave a great dialogue on the slaughterhouse. And I guess what's her name? Pam is a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because she gets upset about Franklin talking about all that.
Sally was like, and I eat meat, and you're making me not want to.
Yeah. Don't worry, Sally. You'll still enjoy meat.
Because Franklin is like, he's like the kind of person that like,
never shuts the fuck up.
Not just that, but like doesn't know when to like. Doesn't know how to read the room.
Yeah.
So
tone it down.
He's over here talking about like how brutally they used to kill cows and shit.
Yeah, they used to use a sledgehammer, and it always didn't take on the first swing. Sometimes they had to hit them 3 or 4 times, or just skin them while they were still alive. But then they got the air gun with the, what did he call it? I was trying to mimic his voice, but then
it's like a bolt that goes right into the skull.
Yeah, they did the air gun that just shoots the bolt. But then Mr. Hitchhiker says that the hammer was the way to go.
And that's because Mr. Hitchhiker is insane.
In the membrane.
Yes, quite literally.
And then he pulls out of his little squirrel pouch pictures of when he was in the slaughterhouse. And then Franklin's like, "Oh yeah, my daddy worked in the slaughterhouse."
Yeah.
The entire time, Mr. Wheelchair Franklin's in a moving vehicle playing with a knife, too. Like, how much more misfortune do you need life to deliver you, my man?
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, honestly, though, like, I mean, doesn't the movie starts with him having to take a piss.
Yeah.
And then he like, tumbles down a hill. Which, in the documentary, they were talking about how, like, at that time, there weren't really, like, wheelchair accessible like bathrooms or anything like that, and I'm like, well, that sucks. And they were talking about how, like, you know, it was kind of interesting that this horror movie had like a invalid character, and I'm like, yeah, that is kind of interesting, but like, I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't think it. He dies horribly. Like, I don't think it's not like Night of the Living Dead, where it unintentionally like makes a statement on civil rights at the time.
And you made him insufferable.
And you made him fucking insufferable too. That's the other. You made him the worst character. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, with that, like, what did you mean by that, Toby? You know, R.I.P. to a real one. But what did you mean by that, Toby? Good Lord.
So yeah, they're all having their time, and then Hitchhiker's like, "Oh, a knife. Let me see that." And then he just fucking takes a big slice into his hand and is like, again, nobody stops the car and is like, "Okay, you need to go." They just let him continue sitting there. And then he pulls a fucking razor out of his knife and he's like, "I got one too. It's a real good one."
It's a real good one.
While shaking the entire time. Kirk's over there shitting his pants. Fucking Can you just put the knife down, man? Can you just put it down, man? That's the most emotion he showed in the entire movie.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
And again, he pulls a fucking razor out of his sock, and nobody stops the car. And then what finally throws them over the edge is he takes a picture of Franklin, and he's like, "It's a good picture. You can pay me now."
$2.
$2.
$2. It's a good picture. It's a good picture.
He's like, "You can't even tell it's me. I'm not gonna pay you for this." And then he looks offended. Like at that point, I thought he was gonna like cut somebody, but then he just pulls out some foil. He's got to have his mobile crack pipe, so of course he carries foil on him. He takes the foil and then I guess gunpowder, and lights the picture on fire. And that's when Jerry finally stops the fucking van and says, "Get the fuck out!" But not before Hitchhiker just decides to cut Franklin's arm with his razor. Again, the movie just being like, "Fuck this dude."
Yeah. Yeah, not only is he okay, funny thing here. People talk about how I think I mentioned it last episode where people say that Terrifier 2 is misogynist. Well, Terrifier and Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2. When the whole point of those movies is that I don't think you're supposed to like what Art is doing. Like he's a murderer. Like I don't think you're supposed to be like, "Whoa," and soy facing at the fucking TV. I mean, from a practical effects standpoint, sure, but like from a human standpoint, you're like, "Oh my god." Like Jesus fucking Christ. Like right? Like again, it's like with Martyrs. The whole point is that it's supposed to make you like uncomfortable that these people are suffering. So people will call Terrifier 2 misogynistic because, you know, the most prolific kill is that poor woman who Art just annihilates, for lack of a better term. And then, you know, people will say it's misogynistic because the most graphic death happens to her. All right, well, I guess this movie is ableist. This cherished classic is ableist because poor Franklin gets fucked up like every chance that he gets, and not to mention he's just annoying. He's just insufferable too. What does that say about people in wheelchairs? You know what I mean?
But
like,
they'll sit on that girl's death in 2, but not look at the fact that Art was just brutalizing a child at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't.
Scissors tied to a string, beating the shit out of him with them.
I think it's just they see a clip, and then they base their whole opinion of the movie around that one clip, and they say, well, I'm not gonna watch it because it's just misogynistic trash. And I'm like, okay, well then, you don't know the context, you don't know what the point of it. Like, people say the same shit about funny games. This is just a running theme with horror in general. Is people will see it and say, wow, it's misogynistic, and I think that applies to Friday the 13th Part 5, where they literally just made a porno and all the actresses were told to do nude scenes when it wasn't disclosed prior.
Yeah.
Like, that's misogynistic, and that's, you know, fucking like, oh, don't do that, you know? But like, I don't know, man. I just think people kind of latch on to one thing or the other. But yeah, you never hear about this movie being ableist. Maybe we will in the user reviews, but as it stands, you never hear about this movie being ableist for having not only a negative portrayal of somebody in a wheelchair, but then having pretty much a lot of bad things happen to that person. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway.
Fun times.
Anyway, keep going. What do you got?
So then they finally make it to the house, and I guess Kirk is just feeling antsy, and he wants to slam some Pam.
So yeah, because they want to go swimming, right?
Yeah. So Franklin says, "Yeah, there's a trail between those two sheds. It used to lead to a watering hole."
Yeah.
And then fucking they run all the way there and get winded. Then Kirk's like, "How did Franklin ever get here?" And it's like, didn't they make a joke about how it's not like he can swim or anything?
They probably did.
I think
Again, it's like Franklin's just a punching bag.
And then Franklin has his little fucking temper tantrum, mimicking Sally laughing and shit. And
Yeah.
being like, oh yeah, this was a great idea. It's like, well, no one told you to come along.
Yeah, and he's doing like a, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Shut the fuck up.
I was like, oh my god, it's like a child.
And then Kirk sees a house in the distance, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know there was other people out here. Let me go stroll up." Well, he hears a generator, and he's like, "Oh, gas! We can go ask them for gas." So it's like, "I'll leave them my guitar and a couple bucks, and then I'll come back and leave them another couple bucks." He's like, "Nobody wants your guitar. Like Pam's the only sensible one here.
Yeah.
Too bad she's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Automatic disqualification.
Yeah.
No, you can choose to eat whatever you want. Just don't make me do it."
I'm gonna hire somebody to make you do it, Justin. I'm gonna hire somebody to fucking tie you down to a chair and force feed you Beyond Meat products. That's what I'm gonna do.
I've tasted some Beyond Meat products, and they're just...
It's I don't know. Like black bean burgers are fine, but like
I hate the taste of that shit.
But like, there's some other stuff that I'm just like, and it always makes me sick. Like it always upsets my stomach, and maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. But like, yeah, it's not.
I'm sure
Nah.
some vegetarian's gonna hear that and be like, "See, that's just the toxins leaving your body."
It might be. I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know.
Who knows? But
I'm not gonna put myself through it. Is what I'm getting.
yeah,
At.
if meat's toxic, oh well.
Yeah, everything's toxic. The air we live in the Houston area. The air quality we fucking breathe in is toxic out here. So, Texas. Anyway.
Anyways, so yeah, Kirk just thinks he's gonna smooth talk his way into some free gas. So he goes up strolling, asking if anybody's home. He just walks into somebody's house like a genius.
Yeah, what a good guy.
Then he notices the taxidermy room in the back and is like, "Huh, that's interesting. That's the room I'd avoid if I saw
honestly, yeah.
He walks in there and the Leatherface pops up in such a comedic way.
He's just like it really could be like you really could insert a laugh track in there, and then like a boing when he hits his fucking head or something, and then that part, I do like the editing again for that part though, when it's just like the quick shots of him convulsing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then
Hitchhiker Brother was right. It doesn't always take on the first swing.
No, it doesn't.
So he whacks Kirk a couple times and then slams his little metal door.
His little metal door.
Classic scene.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
And then,
that is a good scene too, admittedly.
Pam's had enough of this jam, so she goes, "I'm gonna slam through this door."
You proud of that one?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be.
And
anyway.
She's like, "Do we need a Pamba lamps?"
All right. That's enough. That's enough.
Okay, so Pam goes in the house to look for Kirk, and she takes a left instead of going straight. And
because the door's still closed, I think.
Yeah. And then she sees the chicken as a decoration. And then she falls down or something. I don't
Amongst like the coolest looking couch I've ever seen in my life.
She falls down and then it just says, this is like one of the first coolest shot scenes where she's like looking around all the room and seeing everything slowly. And just the way it like zooms in on her face as she's like realizing where she is. And then she starts fucking gagging and shit because she notices it's all like human and animal bones all mixed together to make furniture. Which like you said, looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then you just got that chicken hanging in a cage.
Yeah. Poor chicken.
Yep. And then so she starts freaking out and tries to... does she run up to Leatherface's door and start beating on it?
No, she tries to... I don't remember. I think she tries to run out and Leatherface just grabs her.
Yeah, he hears her screaming and then he goes and grabs her. Another one of the iconic scenes that you'll usually see when people like bring up highlights of this movie, I guess.
It reminds me of that scene in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 where not in Rob Zombie's Halloween, not the second one. It's that bit where I think Annie's trying to run outside and Michael just fucking grabs her and closes the door.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then there's
yeah.
just that shot of the door, and it's just silent. And you're just like, oh my fucking god.
Oh.
And then he does that again when he slits the throat of the dad and just runs in and closes the door, and it's just that shot, and you're just like, holy fuck, man. God, Michael's so scary in that fucking movie. But anyway.
Poor Annie, god damn it.
Yeah, man. Okay, now I'm just gonna gush about that because, like, I also like that bit where she's screaming Laurie's name because she sees Michael, but you don't know where Michael is.
He doesn't kill her. He just looks at her like, watch what I'm about to do.
It just keeps cutting back and forth between Annie and Laurie. You don't know where Michael is. And she's like, Laurie, and I'm just like, oh my god, what a film. Anyway.
So yeah, then Pam gets the good old meat hook, and she gets to watch Kurt get cut up
by a chainsaw.
by a chainsaw.
And
He skinned his ass raw.
Yeah. Because Leatherface's day was going that way, so he decided to break something, you know?
Yep.
That's how it is.
But no blood splatters up, so it's not even like a gruesome effect watching him do that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like, I think just what scared people most about this was comparing it to Ed Gein at the time.
Yeah, probably. But, like, I guess that's why Psycho was effective, too. But
Yeah.
I think I like Psycho more than this, so I don't know. But Psycho has, like, I don't know. It's Hitchcock, so it's very stylistic.
Yeah.
And it's very well shot. Not that this isn't. It's just that, like, it's Hitchcock.
Oh, we didn't mention the other iconic scene is the angled shot of them walking up to the house and shit.
Yeah, the one that's, like, in every single sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty iconic shot. It is, indeed.
Isn't
what
the
else
remake
happens?
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, remakes Jessica Biel, yeah. And then what else happens, Justin?
Then we go back to Sally and Franklin screaming for Kirk and Pam.
And then what's his name? Jerry?
And yeah, Jerry's like, I'll go off and find them. Y'all stay here.
And this part coming up is also why I say it's a comedy. Because Jerry eventually makes his way to the house.
Yeah, Jerry finds the house. He sees the blanket, and he's like, that's suspicious.
So then he goes in.
Goes in. I honestly forgot how he gets got.
Okay, so he goes in.
Oh, wait, now I remember.
Yeah, he goes in, and he goes into the taxidermy room, finds the cutting room, basically.
Yeah.
Opens the freezer because he hears something, and he sees Pam. And she, like, jolts awake, and you hear you hear that noise.
Pam frozen like a ham.
And then she jolts awake, and then Leatherface comes in, and the fucking scream that Jerry lets out is hilarious, dude. It is, like, that's why I'm saying there's parts that feel like a fucking comedy. I don't think that shit was scripted. I think that was a genuine scream of terror, because it's such a, his fucking scream. It's so goddamn funny. I don't know. It just makes me. I rewound it because it was making me laugh so hard. And he just fucking hits him on the head, and then that's it.
Bye, Jerry.
And then Leatherface has a little moment where he kind of collects himself.
He's like, where are all these people coming from?
I mean, basically, yeah. He's a.
Who's in my house?
I feel bad for Leatherface. I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad for him. He's just doing his best, protecting his home. But yeah, then after that, what happens, Justin?
Then we go back to Sally and Franklin screaming, and Franklin's like, oh, if they're not here, we're just going to take off. It's like, who's going to drive, Franklin? You? Sally doesn't want to leave.
Jesus Christ.
And they're like, oh, they'll be back in a minute. Don't worry. I'm just going to honk the horn. If they're not back, we're going to leave. And Sally's like, no, fuck you. Grab the flashlight. Let's go. So now we get to, like, the actual horror of this movie, aside from Franklin. What a fucking annoying little
being an annoying man,
wheelchair fucking troll.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I get it, but Jesus. Anyway, and then what happens, Justin?
They're taking a stroll through the woods, and Sally's pushing Franklin, because, you know, Franklin's not going to move himself, and he's holding two flashlights very poorly, not even pointing straight, so Sally's, like, bumping into everything. And then he's like, "Wait, quiet! I hear a noise."
That's how he says it too.
And then Leatherface pops out of the darkness and just fucking starts slicing and stabbing at Franklin with the chainsaw, and you just can't help but cheer. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna be honest. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, thank God. I was very happy.
but again, no blood spray or nothing. Just
No, there's blood. I think there's blood spray there. Like some of it gets on Leatherface a little bit, but it's not like graphic. It's
Yeah.
not like a lot. Yeah.
and then you get the good chase scene, which
A very long chase scene.
very long.
Where she like jumps out of a window and shit twice.
Yep.
She goes through some shit. This is where her nightmare really begins.
She runs all the way back to the gas station.
And then things go south very quickly
Yeah.
from there.
Then Mr. Gas Station attendant starts to be like, "Oh, it's okay, blah blah blah. Nobody's out there. Nobody's chasing you." It's like, "Don't worry, I'll get my truck and we can get out of here." And so he gets his truck and he pulls back up. And he's carrying a rope and a sack, and Sally puts two and two together, and it's like, "Oh, geez, here we go again." But
Yeah.
she's still in fucking shock, and like
Yeah.
her adrenaline's on cooldown, so she can't do anything now. She picks up a knife, but
It's again
he-
a very genuine performance.
he bats it away with a broom, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he is. There's nothing she can do right now, so
No.
she gets tied up and put away into the truck.
Like that's the thing is you can say all day like, oh, it would have been different if I was there, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
She ran for a pretty long time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I think even all the remakes and followed movies do the chase scenes pretty good,
Yeah.
because the remake does it real well, and then Leatherface has a good chase scene that culminates up to its ending.
Yeah, can't wait to see it eventually.
That one's really good, actually.
Well, we'll see, Justin. We'll see. I'm glad you like it, but we'll see.
It's like watching Natural Born Killers.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, so then that's at this point Sally is taken home for dinner.
Yep, time to eat. It's just like the one ending from damn it, which Wrong Turn is it?
Justin's thinking.
I think 4,
Yeah.
where it takes
probably.
place in the small town and with the jail.
No, that's 5. That's 5. Because 4 is the one where they escape from the asylum.
Oh yeah.
So it's 5.
Yeah. God, the ending of that one is fucked.
And then with this one too, it's also very similar to Frontiers, which I think we had mentioned when we watched it that it's kind of just Texas Chainsaw Massacre in France.
Yeah.
Like it really is just that. But yeah, this one, this is when like you find out that like the hitchhiker, the cook, and Leatherface are all related. Like,
Yep.
And then you got Grandpa, who's just a fucking walking corpse, basically. Jimmy Carter at 100 years old,
Yeah.
basically, is what he is. Yeah, and then you get the best. This is where the movie like really kind of takes off. At the very end, and until the ending, it's very consistently good. The editing's great. There's a lot of close-up claustrophobic shots. It's so good. Ain't that right, Justin?
Yeah.
Ain't that right?
Because what happens? First they introduce Grandpa to Sally, and then she like passes out. Oh, because she gets her finger sliced open, and they put it in his mouth, and he's just sucking on it, and her face that whole time is probably what I'd imagine somebody's face would be like if an old man was just sitting there sucking your blood out of your finger.
Yeah, it's a very good. Again,
Like her eyes
Very
are just
genuine
stuck wide, and like she just cannot comprehend what is going on.
Marilyn Burns did a really good job.
And
Really
I
good
was-
job.
So yeah, she passes out, and then she wakes up, realizes that she wasn't dreaming, and starts freaking out again. Which again, great acting on her part in that. So she's tied to a chair at the dinner table, and they're all eating and having fun. They start mimicking her screaming and fucking with her some more.
Leatherface is wearing his Sunday best for the
His
occasion.
pretty lady outfit.
Yeah, Sunday best.
Uh, du- 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 Let's see. Then what? Yeah, then they just all fuck around with Sally and mess with her.
And then they want to give Grandpa the kill.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he was the best hammerman that the slaughterhouse ever
They did
had.
60 in 5 minutes once, or something like that.
He'll make it nice and quick for you.
And he does not.
He does not.
He does not. He hits her a couple times.
Yeah, drops the hammer on her.
And then she's able to wrangle away though.
Yeah, she wriggles away and just fucking plows
Jumps
through a
out
window.
the window and it's daylight now, which I think is a nice turn of events.
Yeah, realize how long she was actually in there.
Yeah, it's very good visual storytelling, to understand how long she was undergoing that shit. And then you get, I think, Leatherface and the hitchhiker chasing after her.
But she's still fucking spent, so she could barely keep distance between herself and hitchhiker, and he's just fucking slashing her back with that razor
Yeah.
over and over again, just having the fucking time of his life, while Leatherface fucking stumbles along in the back with his chainsaw.
Yeah.
Then Sally makes it to the street, and a big truck comes, and she fucking dodges out of the way. But Mr. Hitchhiker gets splattered and flattened.
He turns into that fucking guy from Beetlejuice.
It's like what you wish you would have seen with Pet Cemetery.
Well, I don't know about all that, but yeah, basically. Well,
That was my first reaction when I first watched the movie. Was like, come on, they're not gonna show that. Fucking, his name was Gage. He had it coming.
and then he gets flattened, and then Sally tries to get into the truck, but Leatherface shows up and starts
The trucker tries to help her, but
fucking with it.
they get inside the truck, and Leatherface is just poking at the door. And I'm like, why didn't they just drive away at that moment?
Yeah, they could have just. He wasn't gonna get through the door.
Instead, they crawl through the other side, and the dude tries to like keep Leatherface away from her.
Yeah, he throws a wrench at him, and Leatherface
Again, very
falls.
comedic scene. 'Cause
Again, Leatherface falls down in like a fucking Three Stooges short. He fucking cuts his leg with his chainsaw.
Yep.
And then Sally's able to flag down a pickup truck. She gets in it, and then we get my favorite scene in the movie, which is when she's just screaming and laughing.
Yep.
And as she's being driven away, just this relief, this catharsis,
It's
and then
over.
Leatherface is just dancing,
You can dance. You can dance.
having the
Time of your
Leatherface.
Oh.
And then the movie ends.
See that girl? She's escaped in a truck.
It's a very hard cut to black too.
Yep. Just very quick. But yeah, that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The
One
first
of the
one.
most bizarre and gruesome crimes in Texas history.
Anyway.
Or however it worded it.
There's no real Rotten Tomatoes score on the Wikipedia page, so I'm just gonna dive right into the IMDb user reviews.
Oh, but hey, the movie's 50 now. It's on its 50th anniversary.
Oh yeah, that is this year, huh? That's crazy. Wow.
Perfect timing to pick it.
Yeah, and certified sidetrack segment time. What did I watch?
Did you watch Jeepers Gate Creepers?
I'm gonna kill you. No, I saw. I think I already talked about The Substance. Did I? Did I talk about The Substance?
I don't think so.
No, I said I was gonna go see it. So I went and saw The Substance. So, first of all, this movie's fucking insane. The Substance is. Definitely one we're gonna have to cover because it is. It's something else. I'm probably going to pick it as a one-off soon. Actually, I know what my next one-off is going to be. It's a movie by the same director. She's a French director. So, of course, I was going to like it because I love my fucking French horror. But it's like if Stuart Gordon, who is the director of Reanimator and From Beyond, it's like if he directed Showgirls and Darren Aronofsky edited it. That's what it feels like. And it is insane. It is so in your face as a satire. It's oh my god. I loved it. Like I really really liked it. It's hilarious. It's disgusting, and it's just a really fun time. I'm glad I saw it in the theater. There were people eating during this movie, by the way, which kudos to them. Couldn't be me.
It's like me eating while watching Human Centipede 2.
Oh my god. Anyway, and then I went and saw Transformers 1, which was really good actually. Like the marketing, like all the trailers make it seem like it's gonna like it's like a real kids movie. But then the reviews started coming out, and people were like, "No, this is actually like good. Like this is actually a really good Transformers movie, like in the same vein of like the old TV shows and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." Yeah, it's good. Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron is like really fucking good. Like as from a vocal performance, like there are lines that he says in the movie where I was like, "Oh shit!" Like this is good. Like this is really good. Chris Hemsworth isn't Peter Cullen, but he does his best, and that's all that matters. He sounds fine. He kind of sounds like a younger Peter Cullen, and it works. And yeah, no, it's really good. If you like Transformers, I would highly recommend it. Steve Buscemi is Starscream. Like, come on, you can't like that's perfect. Like it's really good. It's still a kids movie, but it's not like it's a kids movie in the same way that like the '86 movie was a kids movie. Like it deals with some heavy shit.
Yeah.
The animation's great. There's some really fun action sequences. It's really good. Rewatched Beetlejuice, certified classic. That one, love Beetlejuice. Also rewatched Phantasm in theaters, and then last night with a couple of friends at 3:00 in the morning, I watched a movie called Werewolf Massacre at Hell's Gate. It's fucking awful. It is one of the strangest movies I've ever seen. It's on YouTube, Justin, so you can watch it. It's not good. It's not good. Outside of that, I haven't really been playing anything super special. I'm real excited for Silent Hill 2 Remake to come out on Tuesday. Very excited for that. And started playing Space Marine 2. And yeah.
Still haven't finished the game.
Well, you should, Justin, so we can play it together.
Well, we can play it now.
No.
I don't need to finish it first.
No, I'm going to play it by myself first. Maybe, I don't know. We could probably play it together. But it does have crossplay, so because I got it on PlayStation and Justin has it on Xbox. So, what about you, Justin? What's your certified sidetrack segment for the week?
Well, I already told y'all what I've been watching. I haven't seen anything new. I want to go see Speak No Evil.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty good.
But other than that, I've just been playing a little. I tried to play Warcraft again, but the new raids are so mechanic heavy that it's a struggle just to get through one boss with a group of randoms. Because you always get that one dude who's like elitist as fuck but has no friends to play with, and you can clearly see why.
Oh, like the guys that play Helldivers, and if you aren't meta, they kick you from the group? Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun playing UFC. I decided to be brave and dip my toe into online.
How'd it go?
Made 2 people rage quit.
Nice.
It's like, both times they had me, but because they can tell like I'm not really that good at the game, they keep wanting to play with me. And that game, you can get a lucky shot and just, that's it. You end the match right there. And that's what happened. I got them down, started ground pounding, they rage quit. Because they knew they weren't going to get up. It's funny. Like, you had me twice. You just knocked me out. And I'm like, I'm not even taking that game seriously because I know if I did, I'd break a controller. But I'm just like, I'm being a good sport when I play it. Like, I'll message other people mid-match and be like, yeah, nice work, good striking. And it's like, because they have that little messaging system in the game, well, it's like showing replays and in between rounds. It's, for the most part, everyone's been nice.
That's good. That's good. It's good when a game has a healthy, nice community and not a fucking toxic-ass fucking Counter-Strike community.
Yeah.
Where they'll ask for your head on a spike because you picked the wrong gun.
Oh. I did try to play Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah? You didn't like it?
Well, I had more fun than I expected to, but I've only played as the killer.
Okay.
Because I don't really have an interest in the survivor.
See, I usually play with friends, so I play as the survivor.
Yeah, because my girlfriend loves the game, so she wanted me to try it.
It's good.
And
like it.
she plays Survivor, so I watched her play while she was doing Survivor. I was like, okay, I get the gist of everything. But then I wanted to play Killer, of course. And yeah, it's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I mean, it can be very, very slow and frustrating because I was picking Hillbilly,
Of course.
and I got the school map, so I can't really use his chainsaw in there.
No.
But I killed 2 of them still, so.
Nice. Look at you doing stuff.
And
Proud of
because
you.
I was like obsessively watching Bakwasuit play all killer marathons he did,
God.
I like I learned some little maneuvering and tricks just by copying what he does. So I had fun with it, yeah. Oh, that's all I got really for sidetracks.
Nice. Well,
Oopa.
now it's time to read some negative reviews.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
One of the worst and most annoying movies I've ever seen. I'm a huge horror fan, and as such, I feel very strange that this movie is so revered and well-oiled. That's a weird way to put it.
Well,
Because
oiled.
other than being one of the first slasher movies, I can't find anything remotely redeemable about this film. The first half is so boring that I had to force myself to pay attention, and the second half is a noise-filled, annoying mess. The only frightening part of this movie was when I realized I still had another shrieking Benny Hill chasing 30 minutes left. I'm still in shock over just how bad this movie was given the amount of praise there is for it. In short, chainsaw revving, slow jogging through the bushes. That is a good, yeah, that's,
Yeah, I
that's
mean that
pretty
you
much
could
what
describe
happens.
every horror movie that way.
I was going to say, yeah. Probably good for its time. Man, this film is such a slog. The first 20 minutes is very slow. Just watching these vapid characters on a road trip for some reason to an old cabin. They pick up a creepy hitchhiker and seem pretty grossed out by him, rightfully so, but they don't seem massively bothered as well and keep powering through with their trip. Eventually, one by one, they break and enter into a house next door to meet Leatherface. The gore and violence is more implied than very explicit. Eventually, it's just Sally. Then for 45 minutes, it's her just screaming constantly. It's tiresome. It gets old really fast and is not scary. I'm sure for the 70s this was scary, but now it's outdated. Don't waste your time. Shockingly bad. An awful plot and terrible acting. Most of the film appears to be a girl screaming while being chased by a man swinging a chainsaw around his head like a safari park chimp. Perhaps it could be argued that this film led the way for many teen slasher flicks that followed. However, most teen slasher films aren't actually all that good. Considerably better than this tripe, though. I would suspect that this film was made by college students as a project or to try and waste tape. Too obvious for a thriller and too tame for a horror. If you're looking for scares, look elsewhere. Thanks, R.L. Stein. 90 minutes of screaming, grunting, and chainsaw noise. Don't waste your time. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. This movie does not have anything good. Bad actors, pathetic script, mediocre direction, horrible soundtrack, poor dialogues, generic scenario, ugly photography, unbelievable characters, exaggerated reactions, tense, repetitive, agonizing, badly done, and boring. Well, I disagree with most of that. Extremely disappointed with the ratings. Absolute piece of trash. Do not waste your time. I'm still speechless how so many people could praise this movie. I mean, the plot is damn horrible. Everything is almost predictable. Many scenes appear to be repeating, one by one getting trapped. What the hell? I completely regret watching this. Majority of the people and critics who rated these movies are obviously out of their mind. SMH. Nice. Nice. Disappointing. This film was on one of a list of films I wanted to see when I turned 18. What a disappointment. The film has no storyline, hardly enough violence to suit an M rating, and an abrupt ending which hardly explained anything. I can see how Tobe Hooper wanted a PG rating for this. As far as horror films go, this one wasn't detailed enough to keep their viewer interested or scary enough for horror buffs. This film has a greater focus on the chase scene than the deaths of 4 teenagers. The one thing I'm thankful for is that there wasn't a sequel.
What?
Quite possibly the worst film I have ever seen. There is no explanation of motives or why there was an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere and how a pickup truck appeared out of nowhere to save the day. A poor film with no detail. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Dated, stupid, poor production, ends suddenly and stupidly awful. Oh my god. Oh my god. A lot of people. Maybe I don't get it. Don't get me wrong, I like old movies and I love horror, but this is one of the worst movies I ever saw. A waste of time. If you think usually horror characters are dumb, you never seen this movie. Nice. The movie should be Chainsaw Massacred. Oh my god. People are writing essays, man. I guess they always do. Uh, Downright crap, stupid, and overrated embarrassment to the horror genre. This movie is dated and looks it. There was no reason for it to be banned. There is nothing in it, even for its day. The movie has nothing going for it and is overrated and doesn't deserve its reputation it has earned. One of the worst horror movies ever made. In fact, one of the worst movies. Bad acting, picture, sound, and movie. No gore, scares nothing. 2 out of 10. And I think remaking this film is the worst the movie industry has ever done. Well, if you don't like it, then wouldn't you like be interested in a remake? I don't. Whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's stupid.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait. I had another sidetrack thing. Remember how I said that the pages kept, my Facebook and the Gore Goblins page kept getting threatened to get taken down?
Yeah.
I figured out what picture was causing the problem, and it's
What?
really stupid. On my banner for my profile, I had Paleface as the banner,
Oh.
and the noose on their fucking logo is what triggered the Facebook thing. So I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
Interesting.
Anyways, let's get some more bad takes.
People really don't like this. This movie is a massacre in itself. What a crap movie. I was looking for a movie I saw as a kid one time. A guy walks down some stairs and opens a door and a guy jumps out. I thought this might have been it. No, it's not it. That's your review, dude? What the fuck? That's okay.
I watched this whole movie just to remember if one scene was in it. It wasn't.
I don't even know what movie he's talking about.
Basket case?
Maybe. This movie was straight up terrible. This movie had cringe acting and terrible dialogue, and the screaming was too much, and the close-up shots were too much as well. This is not a masterpiece. This is a tragedy, and I feel so ashamed for wasting an hour watching this terrible movie. Generic garbage. Maybe it's because I've seen many other slasher films before this. The film wasn't anything new to me. Take a bunch of dumb characters, have them go to one location, they get picked off one by one. There's a final girl. Blah, 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 blah. This brought nothing special or entertaining, just another poorly acted, generic slasher film. Oh my god. Almost unwatchable. It's an overrated, boring movie. It's too outdated and painful to watch now. Only the 2003 and 2006 movies in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series are good. The rest are a complete waste of time. Even the 2013 movie was better than this. Those who gave it high review ratings probably because they see this movie as classic and nostalgic, but there is nothing objective about these reviews. I don't recommend taking seriously anyone who gave this movie more than 4 points. It's an overrated, boring movie. It's too outdated and painful to watch now. Oh, okay. He just repeated this. Okay. That was okay. I don't care. Let's see if we can find our boy.
Well,
so he can tell us that that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is scarier.
you can't hate on the movie for taking advantage of something that was going on in its time and capitalizing it, and bashing on people for being scared of it then. Like,
yeah.
Like it or not, this movie was a product of its time, and it can't help that. It's just what they decided to do with it. That's why the sequels that follow take such a fucking crazy turn.
Yeah.
Because the first movie was meant to emphasize the fear of that real world event that went on. The follow-ups were just being like, oh, let's see what else we can do with this. So to me, it's not fair to hate on it because it's dated, because that's like saying you hate the old Star Wars just because they're old.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean it's definitely dated, but that's not my issues with it.
For me, that's part of its charm. Like,
that's the best part of it, yeah. Like my issues come from other stuff that I already talked about, but that guy's name is just Texas Chainsaw Massacre, okay.
And that's the same thing too. It's like people praise Chucky, but it's a fucking doll.
Yeah.
This movie could have ended a long time ago, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
sucks the show got canceled though.
You gotta have a high suspension of disbelief for a movie like Child's Play, but yeah, the show did get canceled, which sucks. But knowing Don Mancini, he's probably planning a new movie or something.
Something to finish it off.
Yeah. Because he always comes back. Just like Five Nights at Freddy. The titular character from Five Nights at Freddy's.
It'll be called Chucky All Out War.
I mean, yeah. Probably. That show's fucking... Talk about an insane fucking show.
The true good guys versus the Chucks.
The Chucks. Disturbing 10s. Okay, that's a 10-star review. I thought I was looking at 1-star reviews again for a second. Come on, Jacob John Taylor. You got to be in here somewhere.
Oh, where are you, Scooby-Doo?
You got to be in here somewhere. What's the Scooby-Doo? Coming after you.
Gotta solve that mystery. You can't disrespect Shaggy's sacrifice.
Excuse me? What?
Wasn't that the ending to Scoob? Or which?
I don't remember.
Which one? There's one where it's there's like the gate that seals the ghost world or whatever, and it has a paw print. And Scooby's like, "Okay, I'll go," and Shaggy's like, "Nah, I'm going." So then Shaggy locks himself in the underworld, so that the rest of the world can be good.
But then he gets out, right? Somehow.
I don't remember.
Because I remember Scoob having a happy ending.
It must not have been that one.
I know Muttley's in it too, which was good for a nerd like me that liked Dastardly and Muttley, but I haven't seen Scoob since COVID, so since COVID started. And Mom was like, let's watch the new Scooby-Doo movie. And I was like, all right. And we watched it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's fine. I'm obviously not the target audience for it, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, man. Come on. Ah, Pumpkin Man, yes.
Pumpkin Man, more like Pumpkin Head.
It's another franchise.
It's only 4 movies.
You're only 4 movies.
And the third one is like almost impossible to find for some reason.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes...
I'm supposed to be figuring out my one-off.
Yeah, go ahead and do that while I look for this fucking review that I'm probably not going to find.
Amazon.
Come on, where is he? Oh,
Not music.
Well, it's too bad. You're gonna pick an album.
Yeah, we'll cover an album. Not that we'll talk about it. We'll learn and memorize an entire album and then play it for you.
Live on Twitch.
No, I can't. I lack those skills.
Well, you better stop lacking, brother. The Creeper.
The Creeper.
Yeah, my favorite Scooby-Doo villain. Not really. I don't actually. Which one is my favorite? I don't know. It might be the astronaut with the laughing skull.
The laughing astronaut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a banger design for a villain. What's he Scooby-Doo? We're coming. Yeah, he's not there. Damn it! What's the point in living anymore, Justin? Anyway, yeah, it's Texas Chainsaw.
What a great movie.
Justin, what's your one-off going to be so I can hate you?
I'm trying to figure it out. This app is questionable. Oh, I found it.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
No, I mean, I found my list of movies.
Okay, well, I have a question for the audience, you know?
What's up? Ask the audience.
All I'm saying is, if Leatherface came to your house and he was like, hey, let me sneak a peek at that bathroom, but didn't elaborate on why, would you let him? It's a question for the audience. So if anybody answers that question, I'll be surprised.
What's he going to do in the bathroom?
That you don't know. Leatherface, and he talks like completely normal too. He doesn't talk like he's, Leatherface. He just talks like a normal person, just like, hey, let me sneak a peek at that bathroom. And then you're just like, how do you answer him?
Okay, I know what I'm going to pick.
Okay, what's your pick, Justin?
And because the sequel does not count in any single way, shape, or form in my brain, American Werewolf in London.
We're doing the sequel, motherfucker.
I mean, we can talk about the sequel, yeah.
No, we're doing the sequel too.
I'll talk about it.
It's gonna be both of them together.
It's
at
burned
the same
into
time.
my brain, so don't worry, I remember it.
Ooh, baby,
So, yeah.
I love an American Werewolf in London. Okay, I'm excited. We did Dog Soldiers, the long-awaited sequel to our Dog Soldiers episode, an American Werewolf in London. I've been looking for a reason to rewatch that one too. I still got the 4K.
Yeah, you have the 4K. I
Yeah,
don't.
The special edition 4K that I bought at MSRP at fucking Barnes & Noble because I wanted to get it that day. Or no, that one was half off. RoboCop I bought at MSRP because it wasn't available on Amazon anymore and I didn't pre-order it. Oh, I love an American Werewolf in London. Okay, so now I gotta buy the shit-ass fucking sequel and hate it. If I can't find it on Blu-ray, I'm just buying it on iTunes. I don't care. I don't care to own that one.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Blu-ray.
An American Werewolf in Paris in 4K.
God, if that movie had a 4K
Ooh,
release.
Un hombre lobo americano en París, 1998.
You can get the Spanish version.
Un hombre lobo americano en París. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing at that. Oh, fuck. Ooh, an American Werewolf in Paris widescreen laserdisc. That is an American Werewolf in London, you fucking idiot. What are you on? An American Werewolf in Paris came out long after, didn't it? I'm gonna buy the DVD for $18.99. That I'm not spending that fucking much
That's
on this
too much on
this
that.
fucking
What
movie.
The fuck?
Things are about to get a little hairy. 4 stars, says Buzz Weekly,
Fuck
for an
you,
American
Buzz
Werewolf
Weekly.
in Paris.
What are you?
What the fuck is Buzz Weekly?
The original BuzzFeed?
Shit, it might be.
God, I hate BuzzFeed.
Well, that's because you hate people.
Yeah.
An American Werewolf. Ooh, An American Tale. That's a better movie. Wow, 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. Holy shit. Oh my god. Wow, I can't just
God, it's $42.
wow, I can't just buy it. That's weird. Usually I can just buy it on iTunes. Is that like hold on a second. American Werewolf in London. Now this one.
Ooh, I like that case.
Yeah, well, that's because you hate people.
Oh, there's the limited edition.
Well, I can rent the original. I mean, I already have it. I wouldn't, but yeah, I can't even fucking rent an American Werewolf in Paris. Jesus, is it that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. It's like that baboon movie that Ron Perlman was in that nobody knows about, except me.
What's it called?
Primal Rage.
That sounds
Fury.
like isn't that the name of a fighting game?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh no, it's Primal Fury, right?
I think oh no, Primal Force. That's what the movie's called.
Primal Force, huh?
Yeah. Ron Perlman versus some genetic baboons.
Well, let me see if this is something I'd have to buy or is it just available on Amazon Prime. Oh no, yep, it's available to watch. Cool, can't wait to fucking. You just had to pick it, huh?
Yeah.
Tubi apparently has 2 versions. That's cool, I guess.
Is this what your case looks like?
Yeah, but I have that's the UK release.
Oh.
So well, you have the same Blu-ray player as me. You could probably play it, but mine get that shit out of my up next. I ain't watching it. No, mine is that's the same cover because Arrow did a release in the US and the UK. That's the standard edition. But it's that art, yeah. I think I have. Yeah, it's right here. Hold on, let me grab it. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, see, it's, and then it's got reversible art, so it's got the original poster too. I love An American Werewolf in London. I cannot wait to watch this fucking movie again. It is without a doubt one of my favorites of all time. I really, it took me way too long to watch it, and when I finally did, I was like, oh, like this is one of the few movies that lived up to the hype for me. Like after it being hyped up my whole fucking life by my uncle and my cousins, And then I finally watch it, and I'm like, holy shit, this movie's awesome. I love this movie. Can't wait to watch the sequel and not feel that way about it.
The last time I watched Paris, it took me 2 days to finish it.
Is it that bad?
Yes, it's that bad.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
And it's even worse because it tries to like forcibly imply that it is linked to the other movie. Because they try to say that the I forget her name, the female werewolf in that movie, it tries to like imply that she's David and what's her name's daughter.
Cool. So what? It's gonna be a little bit before we do this one. It's gonna be a week because next week Justin and I are going to a concert, but on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then the week after that when I'm in Dallas. Hold on, let me see.
Now we're letting y'all know ahead of time. It'll be late.
No, okay, that's the week before. And then the 27th is so. There's gonna be some spaces in between a couple episodes coming up, but that's okay.
Such is life.
That's how it be.
But it doesn't mean.
But look
that we
forward
forget about
to an
y'all.
American Werewolf in London.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna be looking forward to it.
Shit, I'm probably gonna watch it 3 times.
Yeah, one of the best werewolf movies of all time.
I need to buy that and a 4K of Dog Soldiers already.
Yeah, I got both of those.
Ugh, I hate you.
Well, that's because I didn't pre-order Dog Soldiers, but I bought it at full price from Second Sight's website. So, yeah. I think I saw it at Waterloo last time I was there, but that's all the way in Austin. So, you're gonna have to make a drive for that one, brother.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, how did your disc of Chainsaw look?
good.
Because I didn't remember to buy it, so I just watched it on Prime. But they have a new version, the 50th anniversary version.
Yeah. I don't think it's the same transfer. I think the Second Sight transfer is a UK transfer. The 4K disc that came out in America is a different transfer. I think the color grading's different, but I don't know to what extent. It looked good to me. I don't really give a shit.
The only visual quality drop was the chase scene at night.
Yeah.
Because it was like super pixelated, but that's just the time.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I have a 4K disc of from Vinegar Syndrome. And that movie looks amazing. Oh my god, I cannot wait to watch that one again. But yeah, so that's what we got. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook, where Justin will post a thing once every 3 years.
Yeah.
And then follow us on YouTube or wherever else you listen to your podcasts and all that fun stuff, brother or sister or themer. I don't know what a non-binary version of sibling. I guess sibling. That sounds stupid. I don't like that.
Other person that lives in my house that I'm related to.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. It's long-winded, but it works. Fuck it. So yeah.
Or just like how my siblings communicate, bitch.
That works too. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, that's what we got. So
Next episode will be Werewolf in London and a sad werewolf in Paris.
the best one. The best movie ever.
The werewolf puts on mime paint and it's great. No.
Excuse me?
No, that doesn't happen.
Okay, I was about to be really mad at you. I was about to be really mad at you for spoiling that.
Majority CGI werewolf, but
Yeah.
there's like 2 practical ones or 1. I don't remember.
Well, we'll see. I'll see, and I'll hate it probably.
Yeah, you'll hate it.
But that's okay, because such is life, right?
Yep.
Anyway, you'll hear from us then. So
Yeah.
don't forget to go to bed.
Go to bed.
And
Rest
don't
your
forget
head.
what?
Feel some Ned.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Hee ha ha ho ho.